the right of the council, by the will of the force, welcome back into another episode of the galaxy famous Brad fucked us up with a schedule approved Jedi Talk podcast.
I'd apologize, but I'm not sorry.
We are zooming it tonight, but you are following us at Jedi Talk Podcast on Instagram, youtube.com/Jedi Talk, Facebook Jedi Talk. I think we're on TikTok still. Is TikTok a thing? We're not sure. I don't know. Brad, our co-host Brad Hughes, by the way. Yeah, is TikTok still a thing? I think you're like the only active one
Yeah,
on
it's
that.
still a thing. I use TikTok differently than most people do. TikTok is like short form content. That's
Yeah,
not what I do. I post my videos that are like 8 minutes long on TikTok.
there you go.
Yeah,
So
there's
I'm not.
a lot less dancing on your TikTok account.
Well, you should go
Whoa.
back and you should keep scrolling because there is some dancing,
Oh, oh,
like top five bird reviews. I show the old tits. You know what I'm saying?
true, true.
Uh, but yeah, yes, it's still a thing, but like I don't use it as intended to be used.
Well, all that aside, how the hell are you doing tonight, Brad? There's your
I'm good, man.
official.
How are you guys doing? Sorry, I had to rearrange the schedule last night. We were supposed, full disclosure, we were supposed to record this last night at Tom's house, and I double booked myself with a friend of mine named Mike. He is another bourbon creator. If you're listening to this, I know some people, there's some crossover from our audience, like Betsy. If you don't follow him already, he is Cinnabourbon over on Instagram, everything. He is like the reason I stepped up my visuals in my videos. He's awesome. He's like if Tarantino was making bourbon videos. He's the man. And I went and had a few drinks with him the other night, last night at the whiskey in Orlando. It's good times.
There you go. We go from good times to bad times with our other co-host on Jedi Talk, Evan T. Boucher. Evan, how the hell are you tonight?
Hey, Adiga and good journey. Yeah, you could say we got the zoomies tonight, because we're on Zoom. But I can't believe you didn't say that we're not Halcyon approved, we're Offices approved.
Oh yeah.
We'll get to that later, but no, it's aside from that, which we'll get to later, but it's good. I was in Magic Kingdom yesterday reading Tom Sawyer, The Adventures of Tom Sawyer on Tom Sawyer Island. So how cool is that for now? But just like everything that is classic at the parks, I found things in those caves I'd never seen before. And I'm not just saying that. Like I literally, like some of it is so dark in there. I turned on my flashlight and I was like,
Your
"What?"
flashlight?
Yes. Well, that's always on. But I turned on the flashlight and I was like, why did they put this here in the rock that no one's gonna see because no one has a flash or flashlight turned on?
Yeah, you found a
But
glory hole, didn't you?
yep, I don't know why they built it there, but they thought of everything back in the day.
The 70s are wild.
Yep.
Uh, were you listening to Tom Sawyer as well as reading Tom Sawyer while on Tom Sawyer's Island?
No, that's next week. You
Next
gotta
week,
build. Yeah, you gotta
yeah,
build.
you gotta build the Tom Sawyer. It's like a tantric Tom Sawyer
Well, you gotta
orgasmic
build
thing.
before they destroy. That's kind of how it
Oh,
goes.
I
Let me
see.
know when you go and watch Tom and Huck on Tom Sawyer's Island. I'll show up.
Okay, that's probably a few months down, if it lasts that long, a few months down the line.
I think if you hold on to it long enough, it'll last that long.
Maybe.
Maybe.
The flashlight?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
When did it go off the rails? For me, it was about 1992.
When we hit record, but I like that answer better.
Yeah. So you guys just want to go into it? You just want to steer into it before we get into this top 10?
Well,
Yeah, we
uh,
may as well.
a perfect
Yeah.
lead up to it is the lightsaber meetup that happened too, which was like a week or so ago now.
Correct.
Which, as always, like they're usually a good time. I've stopped going because it's just too many people and other things. Like I'm too busy or I don't want to use all the gas money because it takes an hour to get there, an hour to come home, whatever. So I didn't go to this one, thankfully, looking back. But aside from the good time there usually is, some jackass decided to come and ruin it. And for those that don't know, this jackass is Josh D'Amaro, some stupid executive at the Bob Iger company.
We
So
really need to get you another hobby, dude.
No, my hobby is building these places in my house, so I don't have to go to what these idiots build and destroy. So,
You can tell him thank you for Galaxy's Edge, but whatever.
yeah, is it worth it though? To lose everything we've
You
lost
tell me.
to have one good thing?
Aren't you the Galaxy's Edge guy?
I mean, yes and no. I could have went last night, but decided to come home instead. Like
Oh,
six
to go
years
read.
ago, Evan, 3 years ago, Evan never would have done that. But they're all turning me off to the parks. Like they just don't. I don't really love them anymore. But anyway, he was there being his usual dumbass self,
You
and
say that, but you're reading. You're reading Tom Sawyer's. You're reading Tom Sawyer on Tom Sawyer Island. You love it somewhat.
exactly. But that's gonna be gone in a year, so I won't love it because it'll be gone.
I
So
just don't understand why you can't like the changes too.
I like good changes. I like Galaxy's Edge. That's a great change.
He
But
just said, "Is it worth it to get all the things we have now?"
I don't think it is. Lose 50 things to get one good thing. That's a net. Do the math. That's not
But
good.
that's a false dichotomy because we didn't lose everything because we got Galaxy's Edge.
No, I know they're not. It's just I know they're not correlated. They're not related. But like you're saying, just like change. Change is
No, I'm
good.
not. I'm saying give change a chance. And
I
first,
have. I
first off,
have.
change
Look at
is good.
look at what happened to the Great Movie Ride. Look at Epcot. Look at the list.
Epcot's an
Look at
upgrade in my opinion.
false. Come on.
Except for that Communicore Hall, whatever the fuck that is. That sucks. But the
The
aesthetic
same.
for everything else looks way better than those beige, shitty buildings from the '80s that were
Yes.
completely outdated.
The Apple aesthetic. The go
It's
work at
more
Apple.
modern. That's what Epcot is for. It's supposed to be the future. It's supposed to be
Yeah. Well.
futuristic. And every you can't tell me '80s aesthetic is futuristic in 2025.
But you also can't tell me in a year that's going to be outdated again. So like,
I think they did a good job making it neutral enough and future like retro future like '50s contemporary enough to make it withstand the test of time more so than those terrible '80s beige buildings that they had for Communicore. I do think it's an upgrade.
okay. But I
I
mean,
think
and
the
not
lighting. I think the lighting package at night's an upgrade. I
when it
think
works.
Spaceship Earth. I think Spaceship Earth. And that goes for anything. Uh,
Yeah.
Spaceship Earth at night is 10 times better than it used to be.
Yes, 100%.
I think. Well, I was gonna say I think the fireworks show, but I haven't seen the newest one yet, so I can't say that.
The newest one is the second best Epcot show ever. So like, they did a good job. I like
I
the new
haven't. I have
fireworks
yet to
show.
see it. I'm not fucking at the park at 9 o'clock at night. Get out of here.
Yeah. But and not all of it is the Bob Iger company. Some of it was under Michael Eisner. Like Figment, not an upgrade. Not even close to an
Fuck.
upgrade. So like, come on, man. Not all change is good. I give change a chance.
I didn't say all change is good. I said change in general is good.
Okay, and you said give it a chance, like I don't,
I,
and I
I
do,
did,
and it
but you're not
sucks.
giving. You're. I really don't think you're gonna miss Chester and Hester to the level you think you're gonna when you get that dope
Now
ass
I'm I'm
Encanto ride.
I'm glad you brought that up because I cannot wait for that Encanto ride. If they do it like
Okay, cool.
Mystic Manor style, it's gonna be amazing.
That would be sick.
Obvious.
I think we need to start leaning into the things you like more than the things you hate.
All three of them that's left.
All right, let's move on. Jesus fucking Christ.
I know. I don't know why you had to take us on a tangent. Change can be good. It's not always good.
Well, yes, go on.
So an example of that would be changing the greatest thing ever to offices, but we'll get there. So it was a perfect lead up to this terrible announcement today because people in Galaxy's Edge, people that are claiming to be fans of these things, were taking pictures with Josh tomorrow, giving him gifts, celebrating and clapping and applause. You know, it's just I can't fathom that level of stupidity. Where
Because
you
they're all two-faced idiots, bro. This is the world.
exactly, man. Like
People online are completely different than they are offline.
if I was
Except when
there,
I talk.
yeah, if I was there, I would have spoken. I would have booed him and told him how much he sucks. I don't
Some
understand this. Let's all take an Instagram picture, man. Let's all, hey, I love what you do. Like, no.
are all these people at the same level throwing the type of like not shade, but are they outspoken as you are, or do they just sit on it?
Well, some of them are dumb enough to still work for that company, so they
Oh
can't
well,
they can't do it because they'll get fired like I did. So that's another problem, which is a whole
it's
nother
people, it's people's
thing.
livelihoods. You know,
Yeah.
you can't fault them for some of that.
Yeah, but you
Well,
don't have to go up and give them a gift. What
No,
the
exactly.
fuck?
no, you don't. You don't.
And
You
you don't
don't.
have to take a picture with him, but like, whatever.
I actually was forced to take that picture with Bob Chapek that I have, by the way.
Well, that's one whatever. Like if you're forced, yeah. Like you worked
And
there. That
this
was
isn't.
different back then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was there to see our teams. A little different than Josh
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Oh, 100%.
Showing up in Galaxy's Edge.
But it
Yeah,
had to be. I don't
okay.
know.
Here's my take on this. Like, I'm actually surprised. I was surprised by this announcement. We had heard stuff that was like the complete opposite of this. We had heard from a source that this was going to be they were going to kind of repurpose. We can talk about this now because this has been like officially announced. As like, I'm just going to fucking talk about it.
And we're not saying the person that told
Yeah,
us this, and we
I'm
never
just
will.
gonna. And this was told to us 2 years ago.
Longer. Well,
Yeah.
Longer than that.
yeah.
Okay, all right.
Oh no,
This was
no,
told
no, no. You're right. You're right. I'm sorry. You're right. 2 years
2
ago.
years
Yeah,
ago, something
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
So this person claimed they were working on this. It was going to be at one point like they were going to repurpose the Crown of Corellia dining room to be like a dinner show that you would like take the transport shuttle to and from Batu with, and there was going to be like Halcyon Light, essentially, where you'd be able to explore a little bit of the atrium and then come have dinner. And it wasn't going to be like the Halcyon, I don't think, but it was going to be repurposed in a way. We had also heard that this potentially was going to become a haunted mansion lived-in experience.
I don't know if it was that building specifically, but that was something being discussed.
Yeah, and being worked on. That still could come down the line, maybe. But I was under the impression that it was that space, because where else would you? They're not going to build another one if that flopped.
Right.
Like, so that was that. Okay, yes, that is me assuming that space would be used for that. But I'm shocked. Not like, no, it's over. We know it's over.
Yeah,
it's done.
Yes.
Like the fact that building is still standing is nuts to me. I really thought they were going to demolish that fucking thing.
Yeah.
But it's just surprising that was the use they came up with. But I guess it does make sense with all the expansion that they have going on. Like,
but they have offices behind Launch Bay that they are sparing that they could have used.
I think they're sparing it for now. I think that space is gonna. I think they're gonna have an announcement sooner or later about that space. That space too, though, is still designated to people. They just don't use those buildings.
Exactly.
So,
hey, Brad,
yeah.
you are forgetting one of the other things that we heard about what was being worked on.
What am I missing?
Bespin, Cloud City.
Oh yeah, tell them.
There was just that's pretty much all we knew, that there was some sort of dining experience that surrounded Bespin, or Cloud City. At least that's what there was talks about.
That was talking that. So I'm shocked that that's what they ended up using this for. I'm not surprised that they're using it for something else, but I'm just surprised that's what they're using it for. If that makes sense.
Makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I think that's in we never officially said it, but we're talking about them converting the Galactic Starcruiser building from what it was to offices for Imagineering in Florida.
I think though that's a good thing.
Yes, agreed.
Because then if you're spending money to make a new headquarters for Imagineering, to me that shouts that there's something coming. I really, 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 really 100% think that with Epic Universe coming and how big that's going to be, I really, really, really think they are considering a fifth park.
They should.
And I think that one thing that Disney does is when their back is against the wall, they throw down. When Universal did Harry Potter, that's when they're like, hey, Scott, why don't you come build Star Wars for us?
Yeah.
And I think that Disney is no longer the leader. I think they are the catch-upper. Yep. And I think Universal's got them by the nuts. If you look at just Donkey Kong Country that's coming to Epic Universe, like the level of detail is like it's like what you would think Disney would do. Like there used to be like a distinction with like Universal's quality and Disney's quality, and now that line doesn't exist anymore. Like that line went out the fucking door with Harry Potter. There are some things I think they did cheap out on with Harry Potter, but I think it's just because at the time Universal just didn't have the money that there's Universal before Harry Potter and Universal after Harry Potter.
Yeah, it's
and
true.
like some of the things I think of are like in the Gringotts queue. There's like those big columns in the middle. It's supposed to look like marble. Like they just use like marble looking wallpaper. It's like little things like that
Oh, sure.
old Disney wouldn't do. And I think that's all gone now. I mean, the stuff I've seen from Epic Universe just looks absolutely fucking insane. Evan, you like animatronics? You might need to get a fucking pass to Epic Universe, dude. Those animatronics in that Monsters experience look unfucking.
Ooh, yeah, it looks fantastic.
I've never seen an animatronic look like that. Like I thought it was a 3D render.
Yeah.
That was how I felt when I saw like before I knew I was going to Tokyo when the Beauty and the Beast ride debuted. They had like brief clips of Belle. I thought it was an animated Belle. And thankfully, that was before the ride opened, so I didn't watch videos of the full ride, and I still haven't.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to see it in a couple months. But that's the same thing.
Shit.
I thought it was like an animation. Yeah, I thought it was a 3D animation, but yeah.
You're going to lose your shit, man.
I can't wait to see real Disney again. But
it's wild. You got to ride Splash Mountain for me.
Oh, yeah, you know I will. You know I will. But
this is Oriental Land Company, real Disney.
Yeah. I think the three of us, at least definitely me, but I think the three of us since day one were always like, this isn't coming back, the Starcruiser. We all, yeah, especially me. I've been on record since day one. I'm like, it's done, it's gone. I don't have any or hope in them anymore, so it's gone.
And it wasn't to me. It was it wasn't to me like it was even a possible. I know some people in the community were like, it's gonna come. No, it isn't.
Yeah,
they don't. No. You don't close down something like that on a fucking whim.
No,
I mean, even though they did, like they literally closed, like had the decision that day. But it's just because it was a disaster. It was a fucking, as cool as it was a financial failure for that company.
Like, just like Euro Disney and Disneyland and Walt Disney World and everything else they've ever done.
What?
Not to this level, dude.
Everything they've ever done has opened as a failure. Like financially, but they've
not never... MGM. MGM did not open as a failure. Epcot did.
That's true. Yeah,
Epcot did. Animal Kingdom didn't open as a failure. Downtown Disney didn't open as a failure.
That's
all the resorts they've ever opened didn't open as failures. Yeah, this is the first Disney resort that's failed.
It's not a resort though, so that's the problem.
Yeah, well, I should say hotel. You're right. No, it's not a resort.
No,
first Disney hotel.
It's not even a hotel.
Not a hotel. What the?
It is a hotel. People live there overnight. You have to have a hotel occupancy license. It's a hotel.
Okay. Well, but like I said, none of us had any faith it was ever coming back. So, like, we hate to say we told you so, and we hate to say we called it, but we called it.
I'm so shocked it's a fucking office building now. Like, I'm so curious, like, what this is going to look like on the. Are they just going to keep it the same way?
I think it's
like you get assigned a fucking hotel room, and that's like your office.
Your office is next to the Hydroman. You get your office next to Kyle's mom.
I think it's hysterical because it just epitomizes the current state of that company. They're like, okay, we have the coolest thing ever imagined for themed immersive entertainment. Let's make it offices. That is exactly the state of this company right now. So it's just a perfect summarization.
We all thought the Bestman thing would be cool, but like, would that actually work? Like outside of Star Wars, like diehard fans like us, like if you really had a dinner where you could go to is the Crown of Corellia interestingly enough aesthetically as it is right now to just experience that for $200 a person? I don't think so.
Yeah, if you don't have Gaia, entertainment, you got to have entertainment.
Yeah, you need Gaia and you need
exactly.
They wouldn't do that.
Well, then no.
So like, is that worth $200 to go have dinner and ride a little truck over and get like? I think they thought it was like this is like, is this feasible? And then they're like, fuck it, make it an office building. But they have announced office buildings in Central Florida before, and that shit didn't go through. So maybe until I see construction, maybe they'll figure something else. I don't know, man. It's just so bizarre. Now, I didn't see Disney announce this. It was all these blogs. I saw Blog Mickey report it, so I trust it. But have they said it?
I don't know. I don't follow anything of them.
No. The Wrap is the biggest name, and everyone's hopping onto that, glomming onto that. Disney Food Blog even reported it, and they're practically Disney. I mean, they're practically in Disney's pocket. So
I think we might be missing the bigger thing here. Does Disney own the rights to the TV show The Office?
they do not. That's a Universal property.
I was gonna say maybe it's gonna be an Office immersive space. Dang.
That would
Or
be
an Office Space
fantastic.
immersive space.
Office
Office Space.
Space, the movie.
Yeah.
Do they own that movie? Hmm.
That might have been Fox actually, so they might.
Oh, there we go. That's what it's gonna be.
Well, I think I
You gotta find the stapler. That's like the
You
whole
couldn't.
the
I'm
quest.
not going on vacation to work. Get the fuck out of here.
Man.
I'm yeah, it's just it does feel dirty that something that made magic like that is now just offices.
Yeah,
But I
it
agree
sucks.
with what Brad has said because it's like the space that Imagineering is using it for and the purpose to work on new things. I love it. It's just going there. It's just like But when you think of the logistics of the things, like does that really feasible work out to bus people to and from Batu constantly over and over and over again?
Right.
I think Brad was right where he was just like they just thought about it. It's like, is this really feasible? It's not because you got to bus people back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You've got to immerse them, in space. You got to give them there into dinner because you can't drive back there and park along with all the other cast members. There's just no parking back there. So Disney, you know, this is the old Vince McMahon looking to Bret Hart, talking about Bret Hart after screwing him at Survivor Series. It's like Disney screwed Disney in this instance.
Yep.
And they have nobody but themselves to blame. So
Oh, and that's kind of the beauty of it too. I love that. Maybe they'll finally wake up and realize that they're screwing themselves.
I
Going
maybe
back,
maybe
yeah, I'm 100 with you. Going back to the Josh Tomorrow thing, I'm just gonna sit here thinking about how weird it is to praise a CEO. What the fuck are you praising a CEO for?
Right? Even
What
if he
the fuck?
wasn't closing and destroying everything we love, just the fact that he's a greedy ass, money hungry CEO that only cares about himself,
Well, I mean,
that's a bad thing.
do you think Walt was like that? Like in all
No,
seriousness, I feel like he had to be.
he
I just
wasn't a
don't.
perfect human being, but no.
I don't think you get to that level without being some level of ruthless. You don't achieve what that
oh
man achieved without being a fucking psycho.
yeah, you have to be an
Yeah,
asshole.
he
Yeah.
wasn't a perfect man, but he was not as bad as today's CEOs. No way.
Well, I think there's a difference between building something and sustaining something. Like, I think it's harder to sustain something because you're not the person who built it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
it's harder for someone to like think about it in like a microcosm. So think about like if like radio shows. This is a great example. Morning radio shows are so fucking finicky. When something works and like it goes for like 10 years, like Opie and Anthony, great example, right? Opie and Anthony worked really, really well. The second they started like fucking with it and like fired Anthony and brought someone else in, the ship collapsed. So I'm not saying it's easier to build. I think it's harder to sustain. And I really think that's why you're seeing this like creative bankruptcy from Disney because they're just like, what do we do? Like all the good ideas have been done, all the fairy tales have been done. I know, let's just do them again in live action. Like I really just don't know what you can do. Like sustaining this has to be a fucking like such a hard thing to do.
But they're also going to the well that of the properties they've created. Like, let's not forget they announced Incredibles 3 and they just got
Toy
done. I
Story
mean,
5 and like
yeah, Moana 2
That's
made
what
a
I'm saying.
billion dollars though.
They're creatively
So
bankrupt.
yeah,
That's the whole point. I'm like, they're just sustaining. Like they're not doing anything innovative. Like this, we are literally in the period right before, like everything, history repeats itself. We're literally in the stage of Disney right before they're gonna start having flops. Like they are. Like there people aren't gonna go see Moana 6. You know what I'm saying? Like
right.
it's just that's
well,
just not
I
gonna
know,
be a thing.
I can't
but
wait for Snow White to come out. That's gonna be great.
That's
they're
gonna
oh
fucking bomb.
I
that's gonna
know.
bomb. They're gonna keep but here's the thing, they're gonna keep making Moanas because it made $1 billion. An animated film made $1 billion fucking dollars. They're gonna keep making it. It's on us. I haven't seen it,
I
Same.
haven't
but
seen it.
Nope.
it's on us. It's on us. It's on the consumer.
Well, yeah,
And
it's the
Disney's
same
like, that's
idiots
what you
that were
want. Here you
giving him
go.
gifts in Galaxy's Edge are the same people that are going to see Moana 7 and Toy Story 15. And like, it's the same idiots that are just in this cycle. You guys all have to stop doing this stupid stuff for these
Well,
idiots that run these companies to wake up.
but if they think he's done, and I'm not defending anything other than just like thinking the other side, if they think he's done a good job, and they haven't negatively bashed him online, then sure, give a fucking gift. Tell him you like him. But but I agree with you. If they're like, this person's bad and killing my parks, and then all of a sudden you get a chance to maybe tell that person, then I don't know. Maybe you missed out, because I'm right there with Evan. If I feel like someone's done something wrong and I get a chance to talk to them, I might do it.
Yeah, 100%,
Yeah.
100%, dude.
Yep.
And I by no means do I think he's gonna like. I do still think there's something with him where it's like he's still just kind of playing the game to get in charge. I don't think it's him, dude. I really, really don't.
Well, that also
Not that-
shows
not
that he
that I
just has
can-
no values and no morals. So
well, but
Well, that's
dude,
how the
it's
corporate world
different.
works, dude.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
how it
I don't know
works.
what
You
to
got to
tell
play
you.
the
Yeah.
fucking game.
yeah,
And if you want to be CEO one day and actually make changes, you got to play the game till you get there. And I think that's what he's fucking doing. He seems like a creative guy. He's the guy that pushed the lightsaber, which is a fucking cool thing, whether it lasted or not. It's a cool idea.
He made a
does
terrible
have good
video
ideas. Oh, that video is cringy as fuck.
yeah.
though. That's so bad.
But like I feel like he's kind of a Michael Eisner type, where he is a CEO, but he is also super creative and wants to breed that. I think he's tied. I really do. I mean, there's no way you're ever going to know. We're never going to get to know Josh tomorrow. But I just get this vibe from him that I don't get from, like, to me, Iger seems like a guy who, yes, he will go, does it make us money? Then do it. If it's a good idea or a bad idea. Bob Chapek was kind of the same way, but like, not does it make us money? How much money is this going to make us? Do it, regardless of the fucking consequences. I mean, he shit on Scarlett Johansson publicly.
Yeah.
So like he's a fucking psycho. But I get this vibe from DeMar that he actually gives a shit. And I have one experience with him, and it was before Galaxy's Edge opened, and we were in Magic Kingdom, and he was doing the tour when he first came to Florida. He was on the tour guide with the president of Magic Kingdom, and I ran into him. I was like, "Hey, Josh, how's it going?" And we were talking a little bit, and I was like, "Please tell me Galaxy's Edge is as cool as like I think it is gonna be." I was like, "I'm going to Disneyland next week for the opening," and I could tell him the whole thing, and he's like, "Holy shit, you're a diehard Star Wars fan!" I was like, "You have no idea." And like we talked about 10 minutes, and the way he was talking is not the way a typical. He was passionate, and there you can tell when someone's passionate about something, and when someone's just there to collect a fucking paycheck, like Chapek was.
Mm-hmm.
You can see that man does not give a fuck about Walt Disney World's 50th anniversary, and during that 50th anniversary, he does not give a fuck. I truly, genuinely think that Josh D'Amaro cares. And it could be for selfish reasons. It could be that he is a narcissist and just wants people to like him. Could be that. Maybe that's why he feeds into it a little bit. But I think he cares, and I think he just isn't at the position that he ultimately wants to be at to make those decisions. That's just my take. I could be way off, but I think he's not perfect by any fucking means. But I think he gives a shit.
Sure.
Nope. Can't be any worse than what we have. So
You say that.
really, there's nothing left. There's
It
nothing
can
left
always
to,
be worse.
to destroy. I mean, hopefully one day they do close Pirates and the Haunted Mansion, so I have like no more things to go to. Hopefully they do finish the job one day.
Jesus Christ.
I don't even want to do the top 10 anymore. This has been gold. I mean, I
Right.
just love every minute of this.
But it's like
You still like the things that exist.
until they don't exist anymore.
But
Like,
yeah, oh my God.
I'm with
But
you. You can
is
still
that-
like them.
Is that not constant? It's just, that's just life, man. It's just fucking life. It's,
Disney fans always preach that it's not a museum, and then when you fucking change something, they panic.
do you remember, do you remember that Disney World had a speedway?
Yeah.
That's not there anymore. That's
Right.
changed. Are you mad about that?
No, because like 5 people liked it. Like,
Huh?
No, they did NASCAR races there. More than 5 people liked that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was a
true.
big thing.
yeah, NASCAR people are they're something.
Hey, I grew up 10 minutes away from a fucking speedway. You are not wrong, my friend.
Do you
Yeah.
remember? Do you remember the South Park when Cartman was trying to become a NASCAR driver and he was eating Vagisil to become stupid to drive?
Yes. Yes. That's a great episode. I forgot about that one. That's fucking funny. That show just crushes it.
Oh man.
I don't know how, like, to go back to the Imagineers now inhabiting and working in this space. I don't know how. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope so, I guess. But I don't know how you can like work in that space and feel inspired. Be like, man, I'm working in the greatest thing ever built by Imagineering, but it's closed. I'm working in the corpse of it. So whatever
Yeah,
I
but that should
make,
be inspirational.
yeah,
Like,
to
hey,
be like
maybe
whatever I
we
make
could.
is gonna get murdered too. So like,
Everything gets murdered. Everything
it's
changes,
true.
dude. That's life.
Yep.
Oh my
This is still
god.
my favorite episode ever. I'm so happy.
Ah, God damn it. I don't get the reluctancy to like have new things. Even if they suck, it's still a new thing.
It's true.
Yeah, I guess. So I can like, so if you got rid of your car, but then got a, what's the Cybertruck? Would that be good? Because it's a new thing. Like,
Fuck yeah, I love a Cybertruck.
what?
God, they're uglier than sin.
Come
They
on, you
look
know
like
the.
they look like the warthog from Halo. I'm all in.
They look like the car Homer designed for his half brother.
Yes.
What was it called? Ah, shit. What was the name of that car?
God
Homer
damn it.
truck. I don't know.
No, what was the name of the fucking truck? It had a name.
It did have a name. I can't think that far back.
Hang on.
But
I gotta look this up now. This is gonna drive me fucking nuts.
the horned beef La Cucaracha.
It'd be like instead of Tom getting an awesome new house, he is getting a trailer. Well, it's a new thing, so hey, like
Wait a second.
no, like just because it's a new thing doesn't mean
Oh,
it's good.
it was called the Homer.
The
I was
Homer.
close. I was close. The Homer. Nice. It's like a Hummer, but Homer.
Hey.
No, but like here's the problem I have. Yes, obviously, if you downgrade something, that's worse.
Yep.
The difference is when you go and buy a trailer, you know if it's going to be an improvement or it's going to be worse. You don't know what
True.
they're building yet, if it's going to be better or not. It's
That's true.
happening anyway. Get
Yep.
excited about it, and it's like getting mad over a movie trailer. You don't know to fucking. It's less than that because
Yeah.
all you saw was a piece of art. You don't know if it's going to suck or if it's going to be dope. It might suck.
That's true, but
It might suck.
The
Give
last-
it a fucking chance.
so have you seen the last 10 Sony movies? Did you give them a chance?
No.
No, but I
Because
don't.
you
Sure
know the
not
last
interested
10
in
things
them.
were garbage. Exactly. I'm not interested
What are you
in
talking
garbage.
about? The last 10 things Disney's made hasn't been fucking garbage.
He said
Galaxy's
Sony.
Edge, the Halcyon. What are you talking about? These were all
Okay.
things that were awesome. Agree.
Two things,
I
yes.
know.
Two things.
Mickey
Yes.
Minnie's is awesome. I
Cosmic
love that ride.
Rewind.
False.
Cosmic Rewind's the shit.
It is.
I mean,
yeah.
Tron's awesome. Like, what are you talking? Like, they haven't done anything horrible.
See, Tron's different because it's an upgrade because it was an empty space to a new thing. That's an
You
upgrade.
don't know if it's an upgrade or not. That's my whole thing. Like, you get upset about it before you know what it even is.
I don't. You were just saying
You're-
how history repeats itself, and you're right.
Yes, it
history
does.
shows the last 10 things they've done have been garbage. So like
No, they haven't. What have they done that's been garbage? Please enlighten me.
all of Epcot, Ratatouille.
That's bullshit. That's nonsense. Ratatouille isn't garbage. It's an upgrade. It was an empty spot by your own logic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ratatouille was an empty
that's
spot.
true, I guess.
Yeah.
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 Your own logic says that's not
And
trash.
that's-
The
and that's a
Skyliner's
beautiful-
not trash.
That's a
All
beautiful
the resorts they've
expansion.
had have not been trash. I haven't seen the new Polynesian yet. There's
Yeah,
nothing that
neither
they've
have I.
done that has been horrific to the sense where you're like, fuck it, I'm not a fan anymore. I don't get it.
I don't get it either then because that's
Cosmic
how
Rewind's an update too. An upgrade
No.
too, because
No, it's
technically
not.
it's an upgrade. That ride, dude, you have nostalgia for that ride. That ride objectively sucked ass, and that's why no one fucking wrote it.
What ride?
No, it's
Ellen.
because the TikTok generation doesn't want to write stuff like that. That's why no one wrote it.
Well, that's not Disney's fault. They have to adapt to the TikTok generation because the TikTok generation are the people that are be buying tickets in 5 years.
And that's the problem. We don't need to cater to the dumb audience, but we do. So it's like, that's
But
like,
you're upset about these things that you don't know what are yet. Like if we get off of Dinosaurs changeover and it's Indiana Jones and it fucking sucks, I'm gonna be the first person to say that shit. I love
I
Dinosaur.
don't know if you will.
It is one of my favorite rides
You
at
don't act
Disney
like it.
World.
Hmm.
Dinosaur? Well, I'm not. I have other things in my life going on than riding a fucking dinosaur ride. I love the ride, but I can't go do it all day every day. Like
Okay. Well,
I
there are
love
people
it.
that can and people that
Well,
do.
that's awesome, and I'm happy for those people. I do love the ride Dinosaur. I don't have to ride it 50,000 fucking times to show my love for it. I'll be there closing day. I'll try to ride the last one. I love the fucking ride. But I am also excited to see what they do with it going forward. We know Indiana Jones at Disneyland's the fucking shit. If they're
Exactly.
doing
We
that-
already
if
have
they're-
it.
It's gonna be different, Evan.
We already
If
have
you,
Tron.
Oh, so instead of standing on the left side, you'll stand on the right side. Oh boy, like it's the same thing.
Ah, different
they said
story.
it. They said it's a whole new story.
Yeah,
They've already said it.
Instead of hunting a crystal skull, he's hunting a snake or whatever. Like it's the
let's fucking go.
same thing. Like we already have it. I've ridden the one in Disneyland. It's freaking awesome. But I can go there to ride that. Like it's okay to have different attractions.
But
Like
but
I agree.
Disney,
I'm the one that always says that. You're the one that says you want everything to be the same at Galaxy's Edge. I've always said it's cool to have separate things at separate parks. It gives you a reason to go. If they are two different enough rides, they are two different enough they're different enough. Like they're going to be different enough. They've said they're going to be different.
they've said a lot, so we'll see.
there's also a reason, and I firmly believe this, and I don't credit Disney often, but if the turnstiles aren't moving, they're going to change it. Like Peter Pan has been busting its ass since opening fucking day.
Yeah.
And
This is always my go-to example.
yeah, that by all means should be gone, but it's always an hour wait. But
Yeah.
it's unfortunate people weren't going to Dinosaur, and I love it too, but
I know. And that's why Carousel
bring on
Progress is
Indy.
next and Tiki
Yeah.
Room is next. And
I am a little worried, not worried, but it is kind of odd that that movie flopped and then now they're basing a ride around Indiana Jones. I mean, it's an iconic franchise, so I think they'll be fine. But I do find that interesting. But also, the fact that it's themed around dinosaur, which was that movie fucking ate shit at the box office. Maybe it makes sense.
Yeah.
The video game. The video game though for Indiana Jones has been like fantastic reviews, and people are loving the hell out of that. Yeah,
I really want to play.
Probably because it's good and has a good story, I imagine. So
Kyle
crazy
has
what
said it as a
happens when
great
you make
story.
something good.
Did he like the Dial of Destiny?
Yeah, he did.
Surprising. I thought he would have hated it.
That proves
No.
my point.
You guys got anything else to say? I say we save that top 10.
Well,
This has been a hefty conversation.
Before today, the biggest news was the cruise line is getting BD droids.
Oh, that's right.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Once again, we get nothing. And
Just for a cruise, just for one cruise, it's like one cruise.
It's got.
Whatever.
I think this is another one of those test things because they tested it at Disneyland and they were out for like you saw them in person, right, Tom?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a month.
Yeah. Seasons of the Force. No, they were out for all
like
seasons.
Another one of these tests where it's like, how can we? Okay. I don't know. I think there's just Evan. You know this better than anybody else. Tourists in Florida are fucking nuts.
Yeah.
I really think you could run into some issues, and if something happens, and God forbid, like one of those things falls on somebody, or fucking crushes a kid or some shit, like
that's why they have all the fenced off
careful.
Areas in Galaxy's Edge. You put them behind the fences.
Yeah, that's what happened.
That would make sense.
Batu West, they were behind the fence in the garage.
Oh, they weren't like free roaming.
Nope,
they were for a while, but they gave up on that quick. Yeah,
they would walk from like
that's cool.
Backstage to the garage, and then you could talk to them up like by the fence and stuff.
Yeah.
Do we have Evan? You would know this better than me. Do we have infrastructure back there for like a backstage staging area for them?
Oh yeah.
At our garage here. Okay.
Yeah, plenty of space. That's where all the characters do it nowadays, anyway. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
I never went backstage there. I don't know how that area works back there.
Speaking of characters, Evan, I was on Batu tonight, and Vi was carrying around a black box. Like, what the hell was that?
What?
I don't know. I haven't been to Batu since Christmas Eve. So.
Oh, I was
You
curious.
were there on Christmas Eve?
Yeah.
How was it? Was it busy?
No, it was dead.
Yeah, Christmas Eve and Christmas Day until around like 3 are usually really good.
Yeah.
Now, New Year's Eve, go fuck yourself. You couldn't.
Yeah.
I am not kidding. You couldn't pay me $100,000 to go to Magic Kingdom on New Year's Eve.
No, never.
That sounds
Never.
awful.
Fuck all that.
Yeah.
I did it too many years in a row. I stood one year at New Year's Eve. We were like helping transportation when I was on Get. We were going Happy New Year, everybody. We stood under the train station right there at that like where they give the maps out on the right hand side, like by the posters, that area. We stood there, and there was a crowd of people, a sea of people, for an hour and a half leaving the park.
Just with no break at all. Just
we didn't move. We couldn't move. We were stuck in there. We got stuck. And like I'm not kidding. An hour and a half of a constant stream of people. There is no fucking way there was less than like 80,000 people in the park that day.
Oof, jeez.
Unfucking believable. you can't even imagine how many people they fit in that fucking park. It's insane.
No.
Like we
Yeah.
would rope off the walkways. So you know how like Fantasyland is just kind of one big walkway. They
Yeah.
Mhm.
they rope off the entire back of the circle around Magic Kingdom that starts in like basically like from Pirates all the way to Tomorrowland. They roped and like did it like a street. So it's like you'd stick to the right and walk forward, or you'd be on the other side of the road walking the other way. It's hell. I don't know why anyone goes on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, no thanks. Yeah.
Thanks, I hate it.
From around mid-December till January, I stay away from the parks.
I see why.
It's
Yeah,
not fucking worth it. It's just not worth it to me.
it's not.
I'll
No,
go in a few weeks later when it's dead, and I think it's going to be really dead coming up here with Epic Universe.
Yeah.
it might be. Yeah,
I think people are waiting to come.
my ticket is less than 4 months away. That's wild.
Wild.
I can't wait. That's so
That's
cool.
fucking cool.
I
I
can't
will buy. I'm going to buy a Universal Pass here soon, just to be able to get tickets to Epic Universe. I'm so fucking. I have not been excited about something theme park related since the house yet. I don't think.
Your first time I'm a local that a whole park is opening. Like
Yeah.
like a whole brand new park. This is like uncharted territory for me. So this is awesome.
Mine was Volcano Bay when I moved here. But yeah, I wasn't there like open day or anything. But that was
Sure, yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Well,
The hype around that was like crazy because it was like, wow, how does Universal do a water park? And it's like, well, really well. Apparently.
Yeah,
really
amazingly.
fucking well. Yeah.
Yeah.
They kicked its
Turns
ass.
out they fucking crushed it. Now I wonder if they'll still use that as like their. Remember that was like their third park for a while. I wonder if they'll count that as like
Right.
park number 4, or if they're going to go. We have 3 theme parks. And a water
Yeah,
park.
No, they'll probably still say 4 parks.
To me,
Yeah, they
Volcano
should.
Bay is a park. It doesn't feel like just a water park.
Yeah, I don't know. I love it, but it's not a theme park still. But I love it. So I'm not trying to degrade it at all. It's
I'm
the
torn
best
on
thing.
it.
It's the best water park I've ever been to. So
But me too.
I've only been to like 5 or 6, but still, it's the best
I've
one
been
I've
to a shit ton of them, dude. I've been to one of my favorite water parks as a kid was Whitewater in Atlanta, and I've heard that it went downhill really badly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think they're owned by Six Flags.
Mm.
Whoa,
That should tell you exactly all you need to know.
Exactly. Well, we can end today on a somber note with Six Flags. So
Yeah.
thanks, everybody. Follow us again at Jedi Talk Podcast on Instagram, youtube.com/Jedi Talk. Bradleyus, take us home.
Thank you guys for listening. We will see you guys on the next one. Until then, stay safe and may the force be with you.
Always into Buite.
Rise, Jedi Knight.
All right, before we end, Evan, what time do you want to go Saturday morning?